Hi class. So we're starting to learn about fractions. And for us to better understand fractions, we need to understand that fractions make up different parts of a whole. And when I like to think of a whole, I like to think of a circle or maybe a square or a rectangle. So Mr. Moore loves to eat. I love food. So when I deal with fractions, I always like to think of food. So for this circle here, I want us to imagine that it's a really big pizza I just ordered. So now I have to split this pizza between me and my sister. So I get my pizza, I get my knife out, and I cut it. So this big part is all for me, and then this little part down here is going to be for my sister. So we have to think now, if the slices I just made, these two pieces I just made, are they equal, meaning the same size, or are they not equal, not the same size? They're not the same size. So these two pieces I cut here are not the same size. So that doesn't work. So let's say I cut it a different way because I need to make it the same size. Say I cut it straight down the middle. One side is going to go to me, the other piece is going to go to my sister. Now, are they the same size? They are equal, yeah. So when we're dealing with fractions, we're dealing with pieces that are the same size. Fractions are the same size. They're parts that are the same amount. So and the parts that are these two pieces are the same amount that are making up the whole entire pizza, the whole entire circle. So now let's say I gotta make this, a third person comes along and I gotta split it three ways. Let's say cut it down the middle again, and I cut it to the side. So I got 1, 2, 3. I got three pieces now. Are they equal or are they not equal? Are they the same size or not the same size? They're not the same size, they're not equal. So I have to make sure that they're equal. When we're dealing with fractions, they always have to be equal. So let's say maybe I split it this way. 1, 2, 3. Now I got three pieces that are the exact same size. They're all equal. And these three pieces are going to make up the whole entire pizza. Now let's say a fourth person comes along and I got to recut it. So now I got to cut it that it can be equal four ways. So maybe I'll cut it down the middle and down the side. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I got four pieces that are all the same size that make up that whole entire pizza. So we can do this with really any shape. So let's say we're doing it with a rectangle. Now this rectangle, I'm going to pretend it's cake. I just got a big cake. We're celebrating my birthday. And I'm cutting it. We're having a party for my birthday, and I got to cut the cake. I cut one slice for my sister, one slice for me, one slice for my brother, and then one slice for my dad. Are all these slices the same? Are they all the same size? Are they equal or not equal? They're not equal. They're not the same size. So now I got to figure a different way to cut it. And let's say my sister now my sister doesn't even want any cake, so I'm just going to cut it three ways now. 1, 2, 3. Now I got three slices that are all the same size. So these three parts make up the whole. And we can even do it with the triangle. I have to split this triangle with my brother or my sister. So I cut it this way. My sister gets the bottom part, I get the top part. Are they equal or not equal? Not equal, absolutely. So now I think about cutting it a different way. I gotta make sure I make it equal. I'm gonna split it down the middle. Now I have equal parts. So when we're dealing with fractions in different types of shapes, we have to make sure we're making equal parts and they're making up the whole. So here, because we split it in this circle or pizza into four different pieces, that's called fourths. So each one of these is a fourth. So here my cake, I split between three people. Those are called thirds. 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. And now because I split this triangle in half, they're called halves. I get one half, my sister gets the other half. So that's the introduction to starting to get fractions and understanding that our fractions, they have to be equal parts. They can't be unequal. They need to be the same amount. And then those pieces that are the same amount are going to make up a whole.